Hi, this is Justin Kim and Michelle Choi. We're in Miss McRoberts' A class, first and second period. Our author is the renowned poet Pablo Neruda from Chile, who also won various prizes, including the Nobel Prize. We will be covering his various backgrounds, his Nobel Prize speech, and an analysis of one of his work. Moving on from our introduction, we will now be educating you guys about who our author really is. This includes the author's personal, family, and career background and his works. Pablo Neruda was born in Peru, Chile on July 12, 1904. Between 1927 and 35, he worked for the government, and the difficult period affected him and influenced him to produce surrealistic poems. He was also a senator for the Republic. This was, however, cut short because his protest against the current president forced him to live underground. The poems from these times are influenced by his political activities. He eventually died of prostate cancer in 1973.
Neruda's life was largely affected by his family, specifically his father. Let's look into Pablo Neruda's family and the importance in them. Pablo Neruda's father was a railroad employee and his mother was a teacher. Neruda's father was strongly against his passion for writing and literature. Neruda's father remarried twice after the death of his wife, which encouraged Neruda to remarry later in his life. Neruda had many affairs with women and ended his life with his third wife. These relationships with women played a big role in Neruda's poetry about romance and love. Poetry was extremely important and meaningful in Neruda's life and played a significant role. At an early age, Neruda began writing articles for news and publishing his own poems. Finding his passion at an early age, Neruda was able to build up a lot of experiences and start his career very early. After starting his career very young, Neruda revealed his exceptional skills and his talent in poetry and received numerous awards, including the Nobel Prize.
Throughout his career, Neruda wrote numerous memorable poems for the generations that adore. Some of his finest works is in Crepusculario, which was financed by selling all of his belongings. He continued to publish great works throughout his career, such as the Love Sonnet, received numerous awards, including awards for peace, for his works. He ultimately was awarded the Nobel Prize for Literature in 1971. Now, this is Neruda's Nobel Prize speech. The thesis of the speech was that Latin American people are fighting for their rights and are looking for hope. The speech mainly talks about Latin Americans, the rights of dignity, freedom, and life. This is emphasized by Neruda by saying he was a representative of these times and that he's proud to be part of these people. This is a quote from the speech that supports the thesis. He says, "And if the beams from this festival cross land and sea to light up my past, they also light up the future of our American peoples. We're defending the right to dignity, to freedom, and to life." In this quote, he's talking about the Latin American people's hardships and how they are trying to defend their rights. This also centers around what he's trying to say in this speech as a whole. This is another quote I found kind of interesting. He says, "You will pardon me if I have extended my gratitude to cover all those who belong to me, even to the forgotten ones of this earth." This was interesting because even though I knew he concentrated a lot on the current events surrounding him, I didn't know he concentrated a lot on the people he cared about. The last quote I found is related to the thesis. Neruda says, "To a country, a dark continent seeking for the light." This passage concentrates on the hardships that the Latin Americans and even Pablo Neruda himself faced. And this is connected to the thesis that the Latin Americans are looking for light, which stands for hope. In this speech, a lot of the points are connected to Latin America. First, the main thesis is connected to Latin America as to concentrate on the Latin Americans looking for hope. Moreover, Neruda talks a lot about the hardships Latin Americans have to go through every day. The theme of the Ode to La Student at the Market is that something or someone that was so powerful in their community can become so powerless once moved into a foreign domain. In the first paragraph, Neruda explains the thesis clearly by using imagery. By incorporating imagery, Neruda explains how the once inferior beings can become equal with the once so powerful being, once put into a new environment. He says, surrounded by the earth's green froth, these lettuces, bunches of carrots only lived through the sea's truth, survived the unknown. This text shows how something that was once so powerful can all of a sudden become so worthless by making comparisons between the two. He also says underwater dark, like a grieving arrow, sea, javelin, and nerveless oiled harpoon. He is describing how meaningless the vegetables are, and he is making a big contrast between the powerful great tuna and the green plants. Finally, he says, a missile that swam, now lying in front of me dead. By describing the experiences with the tuna seen in his life, Neruda shows the comparison between the vegetables and the tuna, showing how great the tuna once was.
Next, I will explain how Neruda used characterization to develop the theme. By incorporating characterization, the author shows us that something that was once so powerful in their own community can become so powerless once moved into a foreign domain. In his poem, Neruda says, but resurgent, always renewed, locked into the current, fins fletched like wings in the torrent, in the coursing of the underwater dark. Neruda characterizes the salmon as a very powerful, majestic being in its own community, which becomes an evidence when he shows contrast between the description of the salmon in the ocean and the salmon in the market. Neruda writes, surrounded by the earth's green froth, these lettuces, bunches of carrots. Neruda characterizes the marketplace where the salmon is now by describing the vegetables that are surrounding the salmon. This community contrasts from the dangerous ocean where the salmon used to be. Neruda also writes, once sappy as a sprung fir in the green turmoil, once seed to sea quake, tidal wave, now simply dead remains. By characterizing the salmon's current state and how it once was, contrast is created. This sentence describes how alive the salmon used to be and how lifeless it is now in the new domain theme. By incorporating external conflict of man versus nature, the author proves the idea that anyone can become powerless and worthless in a new culture. Neruda writes, only you lived through the sea's truth, survived the unknown, the unfathomable darkness, the depths of the sea. This passage tells us that the tuna survived the rough conditions of the ocean, showing us how powerful it once was. Neruda adds, once seed to sea quake, tidal wave, now simply dead remains. This shows how the tuna once battled against the danger of nature and is now dead in the market. Neruda writes, in the whole market, yours was the only shape left, with purpose or direction, in this jumbled ruin of nature. In the market, the tuna is portrayed to be the strong figure in the ruins of nature, which refers to the vegetables. This shows how the once so powerful being does not fit in the new domain. The poem contains a meaning and deals with more than just the tuna. The tuna can represent anybody. Neruda wrote this poem to tell the readers that something that was once so powerful in their own community can become so powerless once moved into a foreign domain. He did this through using imagery, characterization, and conflict. In the poem, Neruda celebrates something that is very simple and makes us rethink about the ordinary things in life. The most important thing that we learned about our author through this activity is that Pablo Neruda's poems look at ordinary things from daily life in unique, new perspectives. So in our video, we have taught you all about Pablo Neruda's personal and family life, his career, his works, and his Nobel Prize speech. Thank you so much for giving us your time and listening to us. We hope you enjoyed our video. This work has been brought to you by Justin and Michelle. Whoa.